Welcome to Lesson 6 of the Shopify App Development Crash Course. This is the last lesson of the course, and if you haven't watched the rest of them, they are all linked down below. Each lesson does stand on its own, but we do recommend that you watch all of them chronologically since they do build up on each other. As we mentioned in previous lessons, this is not a comprehensive course. This is a crash course meant to give you the tools to get started in your Shopify app development process. If you are interested in a full comprehensive course, we would be very happy if you let us know in the comments, because this is something we are considering doing for you, but we don't want to waste the resources before we know there is interest in it. If you're watching this lesson while it premieres, we are available in the live chat to answer all of your questions or even just to say hi. But if you are watching it after the premiere, that is also fine. We will be available in the comments to answer any questions you have. If you followed through from the beginning of the course, then by now you have an app in development stages. We do not expect app development to finish within a week or two, so we are assuming you're still working on development with your developers, with a specification ready, mockups ready, and a development process that includes daily calls and task management in Trello. So this last lesson is something that you don't necessarily need to think about in the first few months of your app lifecycle. However, it is an important part of any SaaS or app that you launch, and we wanted to create a lesson that you can come back to after your app reaches this stage, and that is marketing and growth. So we talked last lesson about launching your app and how to get the first traction, how to start getting customers installing and using your app. But now let's talk about what to do when you already have some customers, you already have a live product, you're making money, but you want to grow. First thing first, and we mentioned that before, the most important factor for ranking in the App Store on Shopify is, let's see if you can guess. I'm guessing you can. Reviews. Reviews are king on the Shopify App Store. The better your reviews are, the higher you will rank, the easier it would be to rank. So your goal should be to collect as many reviews as possible, or more correctly, as many 5-star reviews as possible. There is no magic and there is no secret sauce. The way to do that is by giving good support, good product, and talking to your customers.
So we understand the importance of reviews, but how do you collect customer reviews? The number one way to collect reviews would be to add a live chat to your app. And when you're just starting out and you still don't have many customers, we would recommend adding the Messenger live chat support widget, because let's face it, everybody uses Messenger and everybody uses Facebook. So whenever a merchant installs your apps and have some questions, you would like him to message you directly via Messenger. This way, you will know instantly when something is broken, when something doesn't work, and when your customers need help. If you'll be there to help them right away and be available within a few seconds, the customers will love you for it and they will be more inclined to give you a review. And it's important to ask for that review. If you won't ask for reviews, there is a good chance that merchants won't give it to you. Also, make it easy for them. Just send them a link to the app listing. It's going to make it so much easier for them to give you that review. Also, another reason why Facebook Messenger is so effective is because even if you're not available to answer the customer right away, whenever you do reply, it's going to show up right on their phone in front of his face and it's going to notice you there. The second way to generating reviews would be email marketing. Try to identify key moments and key actions that the customers take that display the value of your app. Let's say that you are generating reviews. For the first time you generated a review for the merchant, send an email to the merchant and tell him, congratulations, we've just generated the first review for you. If you're happy with the results of the app so far, would you please give us a review on the App Store? Again, these emails might change based on your app. You want to make sure to only send them to merchants who have positive experience with your app, and be very delicate when you do. The last strategy that we're going to recommend is have a review widget inside your app. They're going to be displayed once the free trial ends, and again, it's better to display it based on specific actions taken by the customer and based on his performance. So you only show it to customers who have positive experience with your app. One thing that is worth mentioning, in the past year, Shopify became much more aggressive with its policies regarding reviews because many developers started faking reviews. Another thing that is worth mentioning, Shopify policies regarding reviews reviews are very clear. You're not allowed to fake reviews, you're not allowed to incentivize merchants for reviews, and it's very important that you act by the rules, otherwise you might get banned from the App Store or get some of your reviews deleted. We've linked below a link to Shopify blog post about their policies regarding app reviews. Make sure to read this blog post before you implement any of these strategies. Okay, so now that we've talked about App Store optimization and we talked about reviews which are key for your app listing optimization, and we talked about the way to actually optimize for reviews and generate reviews from your customers, let's talk about some marketing activities you can execute outside of the Shopify App Store. The first thing you should look at is Facebook groups. There are so many Facebook groups out there that talk solely about Shopify. You can start by joining this group and use the search box inside these groups to search for keywords that are relevant for the app that you just built, and then suggest your app for it. Also, you can contact group admins and ask them to make a post about your app so you can maximize exposure for your app as it goes out. You can also offer new users with extended free trial or a discounted price in exchange for the feedback of the app. Another thing you can do is explore paid advertising platforms. First of all, Shopify have its own Shopify ads platform that is based on search in the App Store, and you can find it from your partner's dashboard. We recommend sticking out for exact match and just list all the keywords that are relevant for your app. But don't just stop there. Another very powerful platform to market your app outside of the App Store would be Google Ads. Just make sure you create a lot of ads and make sure that you make it hyper targeted. If your app doing a few different things, make sure that you optimize for any of these keywords that is related to what your app is doing, and keep optimizing over time. Keep coming back again and again and again and see if specific keywords is making money for you, is generating installs, or you just pay for the clicks and never get any installs. And if we're already talking about Google, don't just stop there. You can advertise on Bing. They have a single click import from Google over to Bing, and you can start running ads there where it's much less competitive and much cheaper cost per click. Run ads on YouTube. Try to create a few different videos and promote them on YouTube. You can also explore alternative platforms like Twitter, TikTok, Reddit, Snapchat, LinkedIn, etc. If there are ads there, you better try to optimize to get these clicks for as cheap as possible. Just make sure to go back and keep optimizing. Turn off what's not working and double down on what's working. Another thing you would like to do is focus on SEO. SEO stands for Search Engine Optimization, which means you're ranking in the eyes of Google. If Google thinks your website and blog are high quality, it's going to make it rank higher for specific keywords related to your app on Google. So make sure you create a blog and you create a few pieces of content that are high quality. So high quality that other people will start linking to it. Whenever Google see these external links to your blog, is going to boost your rankings on Google. Now, it's important to mention that SEO is a long-term game. It's not something you do today and tomorrow you start getting traffic. It takes some time to generate these links, and it takes some time to build your authority in the eyes of Google. But once you get it right and you start ranking for these keywords, it's just like Google Ads, just for free. So it's worth your time. Make sure to invest your time in SEO. The last way that we're going to cover is actually reaching out to agencies and influencers and try to get them to help you to promote your product. A great way to do that would be to develop your own affiliate program that's going to generate commission for people who refer merchants to your app. What you want to do is just reach out to these agencies and influencers and introduce them to their product. If they like it, they are very likely to share it with their audiences. Now, it's important to mention that at the beginning, this might be a little bit hard because you don't have a name for yourself. But as you grow and build a name for yourself, you'll see that more and more agencies and freelancers are willing to work with you and promote your product together with you.
One thing you need to know, whatever method of marketing you use, is that your marketing correlates heavily with your product. There is no such thing in any SaaS product as marketing without the product, which is why at the end we are returning to the development cycle. As we mentioned in the beginning, when you first release your app, it will be an MVP. It will be a lean version of the app that doesn't include all of the features you dreamed of developing. But this is your way to reduce costs and go to market faster. So the next thing you need to do is start working on all of these features that you haven't developed yet. In general, as a rule of thumb, you will continue developing your app until you hit product market fit. Product market fit means you answer the need of your customers. This is something that I'm not sure we can even explain in any kind of quantitative terms. It's something you feel. When your product hits product market fit, it starts generating traffic to itself. It starts growing all on its own. Does this mean that once your product hits product market fit, you stop development? Not at all. Ideally, to keep your product alive long term, you will always be developing it. This cycle never ends until your product dies. If you want to, you can create an exit strategy, but this is something for an entirely different course. But the product itself should always be developed. What are the next stages? The next stages are to start developing according to the backlog features that we have as leftover from our specification stage. But now you have a very powerful input that you didn't have before. Now you have customers, and your customers will tell you what they are missing. So from day one, you need to make sure to collect all of the feature requests that you get from customers when they reach out to you through support. Collect the requests, count how many times each request has been made, and then when you are ready to develop your next feature, you will know exactly what your customers want. Don't just assume that you do. We have seen it many times. We thought huge features are going to be an amazing tool for our customers and they're going to love it. But when we actually saw what customers are asking for, a lot of the times they asked for the little things that we thought weren't that important. So listen to your customers, listen to what they want, and have a look at your backlog. See what has a good marketing potential, what can take your app forward, and develop it. The cycle repeats itself for each feature. It doesn't have to be for an entire app. So you develop something, you test it, you release it, and then you market it. Add these words to your App Store listing. Run ads against these specific words. Write blog posts and create videos for these new features. Create integrations that relate to these specific features. Send out emails to your customers. The opportunities are endless. Each new feature is a marketing opportunity. Okay, so we have finished with most of the content for this course. As we mentioned in the beginning of this lesson, we have created this course to be a general guide to help you find the tools and processes that you need to start developing your app, to open your mind to the idea of developing a SaaS product, a Shopify app, even if you are not a developer. However, if you want a full course where we actually take you step by step in the process of developing a new app and launching it, please let us know in the comments and we will start working on something like this for you. Now, as a last bit of value, we wanted to go over some of the tools that you would need in your process. This is not an exhaustive list, but as you will see, there are a lot of tools. So let's have a look at some of the tools in your toolkit.
So we built this course in a way of stages, and the first stage was the specification. Of course, you'll need Google Docs in order to write the specification documents. You will need tools like Awesome Screenshot to take screenshots right from your web browser, and Loom to record videos so you can show the developers exactly what you mean in specific features. You can also work with Canva and Photoshop to create basic designs, and you can work with Figma and Balsamiq, as we mentioned, to create a more advanced wireframes, mockups, and prototypes. We also mentioned that you can purchase a pre-made dashboard, and the one we recommend is Creative Team.
The next stage is actually starting to hire developers and work on your development. So some of the tools you would need is G Suite to create emails for you and your team, Fiverr and Upwork that we have talked about to hire developers, ClickUp and Trello that we also talked about to manage tasks with your developers, tools like Skype and Slack to communicate on a day-to-day basis with your developers, tools like LinkedIn for hiring as well, Time Doctor to track the times that your developers and other employees are working, and PayPal to pay your developers and sometimes be paid by Shopify. Again, as part of your development process as well as your launch process, you would need tools like AWS or DigitalOcean to create your servers in and host your apps, Bitbucket or GitLab, and tools like Jira and Confluence to manage knowledge between your developers and specifications.
The next step will be the actual launch after you completed the development process. You'll need tools like Crisp or Chatfuel to manage customer support via Messenger or live chat, tools like Wix or WordPress to build your website and host your blog on. You'll need GoDaddy to buy your domain and connect it to your website. You'll need YouTube to create help videos that will generate awesome customer support for you. You can use EasyCall to buy a phone number to provide customer support via phone, and you'll need Shopify to open your partner account, connect your app, build your app listing, and later on promote your apps. And for the final stage, which is growth, there are so many tools you can use, but you're going to use Segment to be your connector of all the data from the app and Mixpanel for analytics, so you can actually improve improve the funnel as we discussed in previous lessons. You can use tools like Phantom Buster to automatically outreach in different platforms like Facebook and LinkedIn for potential clients. You can use Hrefs for SEO to make sure you optimize your blog and over time get better SEO efforts. You can use tools like Linked Fusion to automatically outreach LinkedIn agencies and manage contact with them. You can use Calendly to schedule demos with customers and potential agencies. Klaviyo for email marketing to make sure that you send transactional emails whenever someone installs your app or if you want them to leave a review or anything else that is important. And you can use Pipedrive to manage your sales process and sales pipeline for new potential customers. Okay guys, so as you can see, there are many tools and we can't go in depth for each and every one of them. If you'd like that, that's going to be in the full course. For now, we're just mentioning some of them, and that's even before mentioning marketing tools and ad platforms. So yeah, there are different platforms. As we mentioned, there is Shopify with its own built-in search platform. There is Google, LinkedIn ads, Facebook ads, Pinterest ads, Instagram, Twitter, Bing. There are actually a lot of other that we didn't mention like Reddit, Yandex, and many other platforms. Just put your hands on whatever you can handle. Two other very important and great tools you can use are Connect Plus, which is a tool built for Shopify partners that offers ad exchange between different apps, and Partners Drift that allows you to build specified affiliate program for your app in Shopify, and it's built for Shopify. So as mentioned, these are some of the tools you need to consider. Obviously, your list might be a little bit different because each product is so much different than the other. Either way, we linked below a list of all of the products we mentioned. Some of these links might be our affiliate program, so if you want to thank us for the course, just make sure to click it when you sign up. If not, that's completely fine. You can just use Google to find them, and we hope that these tools will be helpful for you.
So this closes up the Shopify app crash course. I hope that you enjoyed this course, that it helped you get some ideas of how you can get started with building your Shopify app. Our goal with this crash course is really to give you as much value as we can for anyone starting out developing a Shopify app. We built our business on top of these concepts, so we are talking out of the things that we are familiar with. We would love to hear your feedback down below. Did you enjoy this course? Would you like to get the full course that we have talked about or not? And in general, what other content would you like us to publish in our YouTube channel? We will see you in the next video, which will be next week, even though this course ends. Good luck with your Shopify app. We would love to see your results once you publish it. Send us a link and we'll love to see it and review it.